Hey everyone, Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. The NFL draft season is officially here, and we've had plenty to talk about over the past few weeks with free agency, the combine, and all the moves leading up to this moment. The action hasn't slowed down at all since the Super Bowl, but one thing we haven't done yet is a mock draft. That changes today. Welcome to Mock Draft 1.0. We're diving into a 4-round mock draft where I'll be making the picks for the Kansas City Chiefs, breaking down each selection with scouting reports and my analysis. But before we get started, I've got a question for Chiefs Kingdom. Who is your favorite Chiefs draft pick of all time? Drop your answers in the comments below. There's no wrong answer here. Let me know your favorites, whether it's a recent pick or an all-time legend. For this mock draft, I used Pro Football Focus Draft Simulator to create a realistic scenario. I made all of the Chiefs picks while the simulator handled selections for every other team. No trades in this mock draft, but we'll have future versions with trade scenarios coming soon. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the Chiefs' current draft capital and team needs heading into the 2025 NFL Draft. Chiefs draft picks and team needs. First round, 31st overall. Second round, 63rd overall. Third round, 66th overall. Third round, 95th overall. Fourth round, 133rd overall. Seventh round, 226th overall, 251st overall, 259th overall. The Chiefs currently have $27 million in cap space after restructuring contracts for stars like Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones. Even after winning another Super Bowl, there's still work to be done. Here are the key areas KC needs to address in this draft. White heavy checkmark offensive line help, white heavy checkmark wide receiver depth, white heavy checkmark pass rusher talent, white heavy checkmark running back of the future, white heavy checkmark defensive back depth, white heavy checkmark linebacker depth. Mock draft begins. Round 1, 31st overall edge Nick Scourton, Texas A&M. With the 31st overall pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select edge Nick Scourton from Texas A&M. Some of you might be thinking, why not an offensive lineman here? Well, the top-tier tackles were already off the board, and you can never have too many pass rushers. Scourton is a high-motor edge rusher who played at Purdue before transferring to Texas A&M. In 2023, he had 10 sacks, 42 pressures, and a forced fumble. In 2024, he followed it up with 5 sacks and 36 pressures. He has great size, is physical at the point of attack, and can collapse the pocket. He does need to work on his flexibility, but overall, he's a great fit for KC's defensive line. Do you like this pick? Type S for select or P for pass in the comments. Round 2, 63rd overall OT Arianti Urzuri, Minnesota. Kansas City finally addresses the offensive line with Arianti Urzuri from Minnesota. He was named Big Ten Offensive Lineman of the Year in 2024 and is a first-team All-Big Ten selection. His blocking grades are solid. Overall grade, 77.5. Pass block grade, 77.3. Run block grade, 73.6. Allowed only 1 sack and 3 penalties in 2024. Urzuri has great arm length, strong hands, and good vision. He needs to work on his timing, but he's a great value pick in round 2. Do you like this pick? Type Y for yes or N for no in the comments. Round 3, 66th overall DT Joshua Farmer, Florida State. Next, the Chiefs bolster the defensive line by selecting Joshua Farmer, DT from Florida State. He was a second-team All-ACC selection in 2023 and won FSU's Bobby Bowden Leadership Award. 32 tackles, 8 TFLs, 4 sacks, 20 pressures, 1 forced fumble. Farmer has great upper body strength, acceleration for a DT, and excellent bull rushing ability. He needs to work on pad-level consistency, but overall, he's a solid addition to KC's defensive line. Round 3, 95th overall W.R. Tez Johnson, Oregon. The Chiefs finally get their playmaker at wide receiver. Tez Johnson played with Bo Nix at Oregon, and they have a great connection. Stats: 2023, 1,200 yards, 10 TDs. 2024, 900 yards, 10 TDs. He's a quick, dynamic playmaker with elite YAC ability and special teams potential. The Chiefs need more reliable pass catchers, and Johnson could fill that role. The only concern is his thin frame, but he makes up for it with speed. Round 4, 133rd overall RB Rashad Smith, SMU. Even after signing Kareem Hunt and Elijah Mitchell, the Chiefs add another young RB with Rashad Smith from SMU. Smith is a versatile back who can contribute as a runner, pass catcher, and return specialist. Could he push Carson Steele off the roster? We'll see, but this pick makes the RB room more competitive. Here's a recap of the Chiefs' picks in this 4-round mock draft. White heavy checkmark edge Nick Scourton, Texas A&M. Pass rush boost white heavy checkmark Oti Arianti-Urzuri, Minnesota. Offensive line help white heavy checkmark DT Joshua Farmer, Florida State. Strength on the D-line white heavy checkmark WR Tez Johnson, Oregon. Explosive playmaker white heavy checkmark RB Rashad Smith, SMU. Versatile running back. How would you grade this mock draft? A. Great draft. B. Solid picks. C. Average. D/F. Not a fan. Drop your grades in the comments. If you made it to the end, you're a real one. Type "Real One" in the comments, and we'll see you next time on the KC Chiefs Report.